Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Tomb Raider 2013 on the PC on hard difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty available for play, sadly. One wishes that there was a very hard difficulty, at least I do. And we're currently on the 4th installment. So we're getting into this, and the thing about, hold on one second. Guys, just let me get comfortable in my squeaky chair. It doesn't used to be squeaky until a few years goes on. Every 3 or so years I get a new one of these chairs. They're $300. They have a leg rest, and the best chair I've ever had, ever. Because I think when you're playing a game, like I don't just want to sit here. Like I want to, recline with my legs up, and this chair affords me that luxury. But it is $300. But it's not a purchase that I make within every few years. Every few years. Every few years. So we now have the ability to, at any time, flare up our, what is that? It's some kind of a striker that allows you to fire up a torch. That's what it is. So, a couple of challenging parts on this, and the thing about this particular campaign is that it's just, I don't know about anybody else, about the fun level about the original part of the game, because to me, maybe I've just started to play this game so many times and stopped because it's kind of boring at the beginning. Even like getting to Shantytown, it's just, I hate Shantytown, even though it's challenging and it will warrant doing the guide because people will need help on it, but people needed help with it in 2013 and now it's 2015 and nobody needs help, although some people specifically play games when I'm doing the guide, at least they tell me, so that they can get the achievements, and that's great. I'm glad that I could help you get them.
I have to get to him.
Because achievements do pop up for me on Steam, but I really don't even care when they come up. I barely glance at them because I'm the type of player where I just want to play the game. I really don't care about the achievement because beating the game is sometimes the hard achievement for me when I can actually do it. But I was reading some articles on Kotaku, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months ago, and there was some article about Lara Croft torture porn, and I looked at it and it was just really bizarre, and I thought it was quite unnecessary to have that kind of thing in existence. But I guess a lot of people get off on some of the torture scenes in this game, and they've taken it upon themselves to make whole series where there's torture porn, where she's getting tortured and raped, presumably. I'm not a fan of that. I don't condone it whatsoever, and I think it's something that is it's just disgusting, but it's quite prevalent as far as I understood from the article. Okay, so we're coming up. That was the. It looked like the helicopter pilot who had to eject from the plane, but the actual pilot is in another section, and we'll find him at the end of this video. So we're coming up on, if I remember, a pretty hard section, and which section is this? If it's the one where you're hanging upside down, that actually is not too bad, although I thought it was bad when I first did it. Yeah, this one here. So you're only expected to kill about 2 enemies, and the really nice thing about this game, the refreshing thing about this game, is that enemies will sometimes, they'll change. Actually, more than sometimes. It's usually like every time. You'll see, like the enemies that were ambushing us, there's different character models depending on how many ever times you reload the checkpoint. So it's really, I've never seen that happen in a game before. So we do now have an alt fire for the arrows, and it is essentially a pull, like a tug, so that you can tug and cover away from enemies, expose them to the light of day. And if you get close enough, what happens is you can do an execution off of them, or on them, I guess I should say. But it doesn't last too long. You'll see a skull icon over them, and then you press the Y button after you do the takedown, and I'll show you it in a bit. But you really don't get enough time to do it. And my coming down here was based on the fact that I was getting shot up very quickly and dying. So hiding behind that rock wall where the river is really helped me out. That right there, see? He's got that icon over him. See how quickly it faded away? There's no way I could get over to him before it faded away. But that does not require any upgrades. You get it for free. So when I play this game, I usually like to take down enemies with the melee function, but that is something that's prohibited on this run. But certainly if you want to buy it, go for it. And like everything from how much ammo you carry, that will all be... I missed it, I guess, right there. I think the context button faded away and that fucker kicked me. I do think that the death scenes in this game for Laura, it's just they're a lot more sadistic than I think they should be. Like, it's not enough that she gets killed. She has to have her throat slit or her head chopped off, or she has to get impaled a second time. But anyway, so yeah, so it's not an upgrade, and you should try doing that, because the enemy has to recover. He has to go through the animations of recovering, and in that time you can get an execution off of him. And what will happen is Laura will pick up a rock and brain him. But what I was saying a minute ago, from all the skills that we won't be getting, it's definitely going to make the game a lot more frustrating a little bit and harder, just because of the rate of fire, the number of magazines that you can carry, how much
I can't do that now.
what was I gonna say? I'm not sure, but pretty much all of the things that normally you would get on the campaign using the skill points, all of those things will be denied us. So jump on the rope, and when you get about halfway, you can press the B button to jump off. Take a little bit of damage, but it's okay because we're not doing this no damage. And what's going to happen is there's going to be 3 guys out here. The guy in the front is going to leave his friends and go on the wire and go away. So I wouldn't engage these guys until this first guy leaves, because then he can't come back. Don't worry about him. He won't fire at you or anything. He's pretty much unspawned at that point. But a little bit of clipping saved us right there, actually. So you can see how sometimes that might work in your favor. So I'm going to try to get an execution on this guy to demonstrate it. That's what it is right there. Perfectly legitimate thing to do on a no upgrade run, because you get it when you get the ability to use the alt fire of the arrows, which is done by aiming and then pressing the right bumper rather than the right trigger. So I think the sequel to this game comes out a lot sooner than I even remembered or thought it would, but I will be waiting for it to come on PC, largely because I do not want an Xbox One. It's kind of funny that I don't have any consoles anymore. I sold my 360 too. However, the hard drive, I kept the hard drive. So the thing about that, you guys, is, oh, there's a guy taking the fucking piss. There's something really enjoyable about taking out an enemy. Just taking a fucking piss, man. He's like that guy in Labyrinth, the dude taking a piss when that Connolly actress comes on him and comes upon him for the first time. Remember? It was something that I mentioned in my God of War Ascension guide, which got deleted, unfortunately. So I lost my train of thought, man. I was on. Oh yeah. So I sold my 360. I didn't get much for it. I only got $50 because when I was looking on eBay for the comparative prices. People were selling them for like 40 and 50 and 60, and the thing was, I just sold it with just the power brick and the console because I didn't have a controller to put in with the sale because I only have one and I didn't want to give it away. So I sold it. So now I have no consoles, and I don't give a shit because I've just been gaming on PC, and I think that's all I need right now. If I need to rebuy those consoles, I will. Because the thing was, I was going to say this when that guy was taking the piss. My Ninja Gaiden 2, remember in chapter 10 of the Dragon Sword run where my game crashed? It crashes all the time, and I think it's the console. I honestly think it's the console. So if I ever get the hankering to play Ninja Gaiden 2 again, I'm just going to get another console. They're really cheap these days, even a brand new one. And hopefully I don't run into those problems of the game crashing constantly. And I'll always have my hard drive. It has everything on it, so I'll just keep that. It also has all my Ninja Gaiden 2 data on there. And I used to keep all my stuff too, but it's just this new computer build. I don't have enough money to buy a bunch of extravagant stuff unless I sell my stuff. So the way I think about it, if I'm not using something, why should I have it in my possession, you know? Now, the flip side of that would be, well, maybe you will want to use it in the future. And I know about that. I know the regret that comes along with that. But still, it's not hard to replace things that are so common, you know. It's a standard system that can be replaced very easily. And I think my 360 was defective because there's no way Ninja Gaiden 2 would crash so often. Every session, basically, it was crashing. Every session. Like once an hour. Or once every 2 hours.
You have to be careful in there. Good luck.
And if I had to do what my subscribers told me to do, I would be playing Ninja Gaiden 2 and nothing else, because that's all people want from me. And I respect your wishes and things like that, but you've got to realize that, you know, this is not just like a Ninja Gaiden channel. You know, most people do find this channel from that, but it's not that. You know, I'm trying to diversify my content as much as possible. So it looks like we are coming up on the helicopter pilot over here, you guys. So I am going to bid you take care. So I will see you in the next video, and as I mentioned, take care.